HIV prevention is a critical issue in global health. More than 25 million people have died of AIDS since 1981. In 2006, 65 million people lived with AIDS. By 2030, the World Health Organization predicts AIDS as a fourth leading cause of death, behind depression, heart disease, and road accidents. In endemic countries such as South Africa, Uganda, and Kenya, there was limited access to prevention and treatment options, resulting in catastrophic mortality rates. In the following years, the infection rates became more difficult to manage. Something had to be done. Circumcise me.
Why did we do it? It's simple. Something drastic needed to be done to save the lives of our citizens. We should consider ourselves lucky that President Robinson has such vision and foresight.
Circumcision? Yes, we can.
There was a reason why the World Health Organization endorsed circumcision as a way to control the transmission of HIV. Between 2005 and 2007, 3 randomized control trials in sub-Saharan Africa showed that male circumcision, which is the removal of the foreskin from the penis, curbed infection rates by 60%. HIV is an RNA retrovirus transmitted by blood or sexual contact. It all but eliminates helper T cells and leaves the patient susceptible to all sorts of infections that eventually cause death. The foreskin makes a male more susceptible to the infection because of its high density of Langerhans cells, for which HIV has a tropism. Also, as the foreskin is more susceptible to tears, exposure to infected blood or fluids is more likely. Of course, there are always risks and complications with circumcision, such as bleeding, pain, infection, surgical accidents, penile necrosis, and penile amputation. The patients must also abstain from sexual activity for 3 weeks.
Aww.
But of course, the benefits outweigh these rare and minor complications.
It took a lot of planning, and there were a lot of obstacles to overcome. In terms of logistics, our country had a shortage of doctors, so we had to train some civilians to perform the procedure. Overall, it worked quite well, but there were some minor issues.
So tell me, Peter, it takes a lot of work to be a circumciser. Why do you want to be a professional circumciser?
You know, I just want to lend a hand to the kids, you know, keep them on the playgrounds and not in the hospital.
While it was expensive to start the program, the money our country has saved from reduced infection rates has more than covered the initial costs. Due to the lack of cultural acceptance for circumcision in Turkmenistan, we were forced to enact the Foreskin Measures Act. We implemented a number of promotional programs, which were quite beneficial. Of course, the procedure was made free to the entire population. Also, educational programs allowed us to show all of the benefits of the procedure to the public through school curriculum changes and by using doctors as advocates. Finally, we tried to get in touch with the generation of the day through television and movies. Some ideas worked.
Aren't you glad they passed the Foreskin Measures Act? No. Why not? I don't want a knife that close to my Johnson. Well, I read in the British Journal of Urology that 97.1% of women report either no change or improved sexual satisfaction after their male partner was circumcised. That's why I like my men circumcised. Oh, really? That's fascinating. I wish I was circumcised.
And some not so much.
The penis. With the skin. All right, this is making you cry, making me cry. All right, life's hard enough as it is. You don't want to cry anymore. Put the slab chop right there. The skin's at the bottom. Hey, look, so you want a little? The penis. I got the food processor. The skin comes right off. You see that?
It's easy. You just got one hand and chop.
After passing the Foreskin Measures Act, a group of rebel dissidents emerged in opposition to the new government policy. They became known as the Skinheads.
Yo, we'd be completely opposed to circumcision.
Yeah, it increases the risk of HIV transmission during the healing period. There's been no research showing prevention of homosexual HIV transmission or decreased spread from infected men to women.
Yo, all these bros been doing it left, right, and center now. They think they're invincible since they lost their skin. Since their dingle lost his tingle, they don't even use condoms no more.
Like my cousin.
Yeah.
So, baby, you wanna... But baby, I'm circumcised. But baby, it's my birthday.
All those monies that went into this could have been used way better. Think of all the condoms that could have been bought. Think of all those viral fighting drugs and research that could have been funded.
Yo, they be infringing on our civil rights. Yo, some bros be traditionally circumcised. It'd be a rite of passage, but the foreskin ain't gone. Only clinical circumcision decrease any risk of HIV infection. People were reporting their status incorrectly. They'd be ignorant.
Yeah, they had to make a thing called the CTU.
Circumcision Tactical Unit.
They used that to spy on men's statuses. A fellow skinhead just got caught last week.
I just have to go to the washroom for a second.
Yeah, I gotta go too.
You go to base. The turtle has less of a shell.
Wait a second. Are you circumcised?
Yeah. I mean, no.
He's a Cirky!
No. No. No.
The Foreskin Measures Act is unconstitutional. People should have autonomy over their bodies and make these decisions for themselves. Since the procedure is not necessary for infants, parents should not have the right to consent for their children in this case. When they are old enough to engage in intercourse, they are old enough to make their own decisions. Informing the public properly and making the procedure free but voluntary would encourage people without infringing on their rights.
The bottom line is, sometimes you have to circumvent some individual rights in the interest of public health. This program has in fact reduced the incidence of HIV as we planned. Though there has been some unfortunate consequences, we accomplished our goal.
The Circumcise Me program in Turkmenistan has continued despite aggressive resistance. The skinheads and their lawyers continue to fight for a circumcision-free future. Was this a success story or a failure of maintaining balance in society? You decide.